Is it really?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like
Well, you're
super
like
sweet.
drinking it like a commercial too, because you like said it to me. You're like, "This ginger beer is really good," and then you turned your head and just like
I know.
drank it like it was a Coke commercial.
And it tastes great with Subway,
Shit!
Eat flesh.
right? what?
Whoa!
What zombie
They got
Subway?
dark. Real dark.
I know. We haven't even really started.
Yeah, man.
There's a couple zombie Subway chains around here somewhere.
So everybody, oh
Jesus!
yeah, I'm sorry, made a weird noise in our ear. We're drinking tonight, so we're gonna have fun. I'm being told to turn the volume down. Okay.
I'm saying you're a little hot guy. You're a little hot guy.
You're a little
Like
hot
you
guy.
specifically. No, I didn't say
Why?
that.
Thank you.
No. Kind of elvish in a way.
There you go.
Elvish?
But like Keebler elf.
So,
Lives in a tree.
yeah,
Fudge stripes, dude. Fudge stripes.
I'm not a big. Didn't we have that? Was that part of the?
No, we didn't
we
have
just
that.
talked about Girl Scout cookies.
No, we
that
didn't
was
talk
a girl.
about-
Yeah, fudge stripes are good
Yeah.
for a little bit.
Yeah, I know.
With the one with the one with the hole in the middle, you put your your finger in the circle in the middle of the fudge stripe and eat all around the fudge stripes. It's tasty.
You make that entirely too sexual, sir.
Well, someone's got to do it, right? I mean, why not me?
Yeah, I guess you have a point there.
Let me put my finger in your circle.
Fudge stripe? No. No, we're not going to allow this to go there. But fudge stripe, that's funny. So many jokes. All right, Grizz is already dying.
Yeah, I'm Muttley tonight.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So, all right. Well, tonight we're gonna talk. Oh,
Well,
sorry.
we're drinking because we're mourning a loss.
Yes, but first off, I want to say welcome to Walking My Wheels, the podcast that talks about anything and has absolutely no structure. Just me rolling through life with some pretty awesome friends. Got my boys Grizz and Matt with me. I'm Derek.
How you's doing?
Thank you, Grizz.
That was Grizz.
That was Grizz. Yes. If you hear him growl ever, that's him also. I think he just shit his diaper.
I'm sorry for what you're about to have to experience,
Yes.
interwebs.
Yes, this is going to be fun. So, yeah, what were we saying? We're in mourning?
Yeah, we are in mourning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
feel free to join us, Grizz.
Grizz is a little bit verklempt. He's mourning so hard that he can't bring the words together. What the hell's wrong with you, dude? Get it together, man.
Oh, dude, you got the giggles bad. He's got the giggles bad right now.
Dude, you remind me of a dude.
I know,
First
really.
time we got him messed up when we were like 17. He was doing this for like 3 hours.
I know. You really
This is
are
the
in
next-
mourning, aren't you?
This is the next two podcasts, everybody. Just saying. This one and the next one.
Yeah, we're a little bit busy, so we're gonna record a couple podcasts tonight.
Yeah,
so
totally. Well, anyway, on a serious
on
note,
a serious note, we're gonna let you take this, Matt, because apparently Grizz
apparently he can't get it
finds
together.
this whole shit hilarious.
As I'm sure the whole world knows by now, just because it's been all over all the major media outlets at this point. So this episode is in honor of Chris Cornell, one of the most monstrous rock and roll vocalists of all times. And, probably one of the ones that probably touched, my heart the most. And I didn't even really, now that he's gone, it's, really hit, a little bit close to home. But tonight's episode, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be talking about, great frontmen. Just kind of over, like variety of genres. I mean, we're pretty much rock guys, but we gotta, we're gonna talk about great frontmen and kind of like what they brought to the bands and things like that.
Yeah, I mean, you
So-
might like them, you might hate them, but even if you hated the band,
You gotta have respect.
Yeah, respect for the front man in charge of the band. Are you going to be able to make it through this podcast, Matt or Chris?
I'm good, bro.
Okay, you good? All right.
Yeah.
All right. Did you pick your lung up off the floor?
You had to say that when he took a sip of the drink.
Oh, absolutely.
What a dick.
Yeah.
So,
Golly.
Killing me, man.
yes. Yeah. All right. So, do you want to? I know you got a list. I got a few in my head that I'm going to throw out
I've got
there.
a few that I've
if they're not in
pulled
the,
up.
All right. So let's start with the first. I mean, go right ahead and
After
me?
you. Yeah, go for it.
I'm just going to go with some basics that I don't think are the best. And obviously, we're going to wait and hold off talking
but you
about...
have to respect.
Yeah, we're going to hold off about
Obvious.
James Hetfield, because obviously that's, one of my
obviously
favorites.
he's in a class of his own.
Yes. Exactly.
So,
So I think some great frontmen, whether you like him or not, David Lee Roth of Van Halen, I think was incredible as a frontman.
Man.
Now, what are our rules here? Are we looking at, on and off the stage, or being able to own the stage?
For me, it was more about like how they fit and what they brought into the band. I also made it a point to not include people like Jimi Hendrix because it's his band, or like Prince because no shit, he's the front man. It's Prince, It's like it's the whole entire. It's all focused around them. So I was really going for like full bands, whether from a 3-piece and up.
I think that's fair.
Just kind of choose some people that like really brought a lot to the whole entire thing.
That's fair.
To the band
I think that
overall.
sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so yeah, I'd like to start with. I think David Lee Roth was amazing as a front man, and I mainly
totally.
pull that from just the videos of 1984 with Panama and Jump, just his antics, and then on stage he's just a crazy man.
Oh yeah, and he's a performer. Like
old
mad
David Lee
performer.
Roth, the new David Lee Roth, he just smiles and it's creepy.
Yeah, it's like
it's
It's like
creepy.
Ronald McDonald. You took the makeup off.
Oh, scary. Yeah.
yeah, it's a little creepy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're right.
Yeah,
but like I think of like performances like Running with the Devil and like all that kind of stuff, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
those songs are like,
But his on-stage performance, he's all over the place doing flips and jumps and just he knows how to bring the crowd into it.
right.
Yeah, so I think he's an incredible front man. So that's how I wanted to start with. What do you think about Hagar? Sammy
I never
Hagar.
was I'm a Van Halen fan, not a Van Hagar fan.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
still, 5150 and OU812 I think were still pretty good albums overall.
Yeah, yeah. He didn't have that thing that David Lee Roth had, though.
No, I agree with that.
He didn't have that.
The way of alienating the rest of your bandmates. He didn't have.
No, that's not what I meant. You know how like just somebody have like I guess it's like the cult of personality, thing. They just have that thing that like you just have it.
Yeah.
There's not way to really describe it. So, they're just like there's just something about them. There's a certain level of charisma.
Yes.
That
That's the
I
key
don't
word,
think that
charisma.
I don't think that
Separates a
Sammy
lot of them.
Hagar had that.
No.
He had the voice though, man.
He did have the voice. I'm not going to say he wasn't talented. He definitely is talented.
But they did definitely take a huge step back,
right.
as frontmen were.
Right.
It became more of a business for Van Halen, I think, at that point. Than
Totally.
having a good time. So yeah.
Totally. Yeah.
All right. What do you got?
I was actually thinking, this one, he's probably lower on my list, but I have mad respect, was Tom Petty.
Oh man.
Yeah, but it's
it's Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, yeah, but it's like...
I think you broke your own rule there.
I don't think so, because that is a
Broken.
full band. That is a full band. It is not...
Broke the rule like you broke my
It's
heart.
still kind of like Prince, though. It's still kind of like Jimi
Okay,
Hendrix.
well then fine, I'll
Yeah,
take it
like
off there.
Prince and the
It's
Revolution.
like you're saying Bruce Springsteen and
gotcha.
Street Band.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well then scratch him.
You lose, sir.
I lose, sir.
You stole a fizzy lifting
Now-
drink.
What about you? What do you got?
I was thinking of one.
It's easy, Tom.
Shit.
Oh, Derek's got the jokes.
Shut up.
What I have actually was in a band, and then he went solo, which is Phil Collins.
Genesis.
Got you, Genesis.
Yeah.
Right on.
It's kind of hard being a front man when you're the drummer, though.
Well, same thing with the dude from the Eagles, Don Henley.
I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that.
Dave Grohl.
Yeah, but he's
And
I know,
With
I
Foo
know.
with
Yeah.
Foo Fighters, yes.
Foo Fighters. Yeah, well, he's
Yeah.
not the drummer.
No,
On the
I
first album
see where
he
you're
was.
going with it, but it's you can't really get the crowd riled up when
As the
you're behind
drummer.
a drum kit. It's kind of hard to do.
Okay, I'm I mean,
I'm just gonna say, well,
Well, no,
I don't
just-
know about that. John Bonham. Got
No, feel
people
free to
riled
go
up
back
behind
and
a drum
forth. I
kit.
mean, this is what the podcast is about.
Yeah,
Or
man.
you could just give in right out the gate. We could just end the podcast
Totally.
at 15 minutes.
that's good.
Okay, well, yeah, okay, right on. Next podcast, let's do this.
I know, right?
No, what? Okay, who's your next nominee?
Les Claypool. Primus.
Okay, yeah, he's got that. I'll give it to him. He's a very unique individual.
Puts
His
on a
playing
great
as
show.
well.
I saw him open for Tool on this last set, and also I saw him several years ago open for Public Enemy and Anthrax. That tour when they did Bring the Noise.
Right.
And Primus was one of the opening bands, and he was just up there playing the bass like he does, and his leg was just bouncing up and down the whole time, and then when I saw him again at the Tool concert a year or two ago, he was just awesome, man. He was up there, his legs bouncing. At one point, I don't know the name of the character because I'm not a gigantic Primus fan, but he came out and he had a big pig mask on. And had a cane. He was walking around with the pig mask and the cane. It was just really wild and different. And it was one of those opening bands where you're like, "Oh, I'm going to watch this," because
Right.
most opening bands you're like, screw them, like Volbeat or something.
Well played, sir, and I like it.
That was good. I like that.
Yeah,
I like
but
that.
I thought it was pretty cool. So, and him being a bass player as a frontman, I think that's kind of unique in itself.
Yeah, you don't see a lot of them.
No, you don't.
Except Tom Araya from Slayer,
Yeah,
yeah, totally. Now, next one I had, and actually, I don't even know why I actually put him on the list last. I didn't even think about him at the time. But Mike Patton, Faith No More.
Oh, I saw that.
Dude.
Yes.
That guy, he is an amazing performer. All these years later, he still has his voice. Of course, he's aged a little bit, so his voice is a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
But he's still got an insane range, and he's a performer. You cannot imagine Faith No More without Mike Patton.
Yeah.
He's an amazing frontman. He brings so much to it. Actually, I heard a story from somebody who actually grew up with Mike Patton.
Oh,
it was
really?
and he was talking about. It was actually this guy, Chris Olson. He was one of my mentors and teachers at Roberto Venn, where I went with your school. And he actually
That was a nice backstory. Thank you.
yeah, there you go. But
appreciate that.
he went to school with Mike Patton. He grew up with him, so he remember when Faith No More got really big.
And before he was with Mr. Bungle before Faith No More.
Right.
too.
Yeah, that's his original band. It was Mr. Bungle and then Faith No More. And, so when Faith No More got big, I think he was on Letterman and he was by himself without the band. And, he's kind of an off the wall character. I think he did a cover of Stevie Wonder or something. And
Their Commodore's Easy Like Sunday Morning.
yeah, he does
Oh,
all
that's a
sorts of.
phenomenal cover.
Yeah, and it was and everybody was like, "What the hell is this?" Everybody's expecting him to come out and do Epic.
Yeah.
And, he's up there doing Stevie Wonder, and
Epic.
everybody was
Wah,
like,
wah, one of their. It's
Yeah,
still
it's
a great
not their,
song, but yeah.
"It's not, but it's one of their best known songs." But it was
Yeah.
at that time you'd
And
expect
the
him to
video,
be doing Epic.
really got them popular. Also, the bouncing goldfish. Remember that?
Yeah, at the end, a lot of controversy behind that.
Oh,
too,
yeah.
but
Yeah,
but
there
he's-
was.
everybody was like,
forgot.
everybody who knew him was like, "Oh, well, this isn't very surprising that he's up there wearing this crazy suit and doing a Stevie Wonder cover."
Yeah.
But Monster, to this day, they can pack it out they could pack out stadiums. So,
Oh, yeah.
Amazing frontman.
Yeah.
Kind
yeah,
of
Faith No More,
incomparable.
yeah, it's a good show. I didn't even know they do a cover of War Pigs also,
Mm-hmm.
which is very good. All right.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
What do you
speaking of War Pigs, I was going to go with Ozzy.
There you
As
go.
a front man?
Yeah, man.
Absolutely. Ozzy, early Ozzy especially.
Early. I'm not a giant. I'm
Sabbath's
not a giant
1
Ozzy
through
fan.
3.
I'm not a giant Ozzy fan. I like Black Sabbath. I'm not a giant Ozzy fan though.
Right.
It-
Well, Sabbath 1 through 3, the first
Yeah.
3 albums, you got to be like, well, holy shit.
Yeah.
That, and honestly,
Yeah,
I don't think they
Paranoid is-
wouldn't have been as
Paranoid's
big.
one of the first albums I bought when I started collecting albums again.
Right. But would they have been as big without Ozzy originally.
No, like say if Ronnie James Dio was the front man instead of Ozzy out the gate.
You almost wonder if they would have became famous. They would have been an awesome band regardless. But
Ozzy's voice with the music.
Also, early
fit.
Ozzy stage performing too
Yeah.
was a monster on stage.
Yeah, as he's gotten older, he's very repetitive
in what he does.
in what he says.
Yeah,
and
he likes
does.
to stand and like just bounce behind the mic.
And then he paces back and forth, you know. So maybe it's the drugs. I don't know.
Yeah.
He can't even like conjure a sentence, man. I mean,
Yeah. Well,
Exactly. What did he say? Doesn't matter.
Ozzy
Sharon
Osbourne
understood.
playing the Godfather.
I don't. Can I have a Diet Coke, please?
I hope your first trial is a masculine child. But
Yeah, because Ozzy transcended that. I mean, he was huge with Sabbath, and then he went.
He went solo.
Yeah,
And
he
It
actually
was
has
alright,
one of
yeah.
the most monstrous guitarists I ever walked face of the planet too with him. That didn't hurt.
yeah. Randy Rhoads was a beast.
Yeah, totally. That's a totally different discussion now.
yeah, Tribute
But-
album is probably my favorite. Is easily my favorite Ozzy album.
Totally.
Is after Randy Rhoads died. Yeah, that was a great album. All right, I'm gonna go with Zach De La Rocha from Rage Against the Machine.
He's on my list.
He is on.
He's on my list.
Yeah, dude, that dude's a front man. That's a front man right there. He just owns the stage, and the music helps drive it too.
Yeah,
But yeah. When you watch any Rage live set,
It's ridiculous.
yeah, and just the fans are just
And they're
crazy.
so tight. If you've never watched any Rage live, just go on like YouTube right now and look up like, Rage Against the Machine live at Woodstock.
yeah,
Like ridiculous show,
yep. It's ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous. Is an understatement.
What I like with him is he brought a lot of message with it. His lyrics, it's not just, it's not just bullshit. He has something to say.
Oh, yeah.
He does it with a lot of attitude. Nobody can do it like him.
Yes.
I love what they're doing now, like Prophets of Rage, where they got, Be Real and Chuck D.
Yep.
But at the same time, it's like they're not Zach.
No.
And they're never going to bring that, like, level of, like, even all these years later, it's like, who could sound that pissed off for this long?
Yeah.
And do it well and just kind of, like, sounds like the Revolution.
Yes. Yes, exactly, and that's what he was going for.
Right.
Yeah. Oh gosh, I miss Rage.
Totally.
Yeah, miss Rage.
That's a ship that sailed, but I don't mind that it sailed because they left behind some good tracks.
It's a bucket list thing that I missed out on, though.
Yeah. Yeah, I never got a chance to see Rage live either. But,
Oh man, this drink is delicious.
Totally.
Delicious. Yeah.
Total. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty good. Have you told everybody? Oh, you put the picture up, but what is actually in?
It's a
what we're drinking?
mango pineapple Moscow Mule, and it's just yummy.
So it's like a Sochi It's like a Sochi mule.
Grizz is drinking light beer. Is that
It's the original light beer. Give
Oh,
him
yeah.
some credit
Oh, yeah.
where credit's
No,
due.
light-
yeah, it's the
that's-
original light
yeah.
beer. Plus, I'm eating a
Pilsner
finishing off a piece of pizza. So excuse me.
and
This guy who's giving me shit about eating piece of pizza is not eating pizza.
Matt's joining me in the Moscow Mule land.
I am indeed. Now, my next one was kind of actually touches upon kind of the same road, a little bit revolutionary. Serge Tankian from System of a Down.
Oh,
That guy,
I can't believe you didn't think about that.
Right.
Yeah.
dude, guy has amazing range.
Good
He
pull.
has a lot to
Yeah.
say. That band would not sound like that band without him. Granted, like Darren Milwaukee, and what I love about those guys is just because, as a band, what's nice about them is because they're Armenian. They put a lot of their roots in like a little bit of their music, and also all of like the kick-ass music that they grew up listening to, and they put it into this like package that works, and they sound like themselves. They only sound like themselves.
They're so incredibly unique. I mean,
And
I'd
talented, all of them.
I'd be, in a world of arguments, because I'm sure people would disagree with this. I could say they might be one of the best bands of all time because they're just so good and just so unique and can pull so many different genres and so many different time shifts and time changes into their music, and you just have no idea where it came from
without it being
and where
too
it's going.
pretentious either. It's very accessible, and it's with Surge too. He's got this crazy like range where he can go from like this like really chaotic like screamed like almost like incoherent sounding, and he's got like this. He can be quiet and like buttery smooth.
Soldier
too.
Side.
Right.
Yep.
Or like early like Spiders.
Yeah,
know?
Spiders,
Yes.
man. That's what I was thinking.
Yep.
It's
man.
it's good
That's
stuff.
good pull, man. I wasn't even.
I've seen them live too, and they know how to bring a damn house down. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I was terrified for my life when they played War.
I saw him open for
amazing.
I saw him open for Limp Bizkit back when I didn't know who I was watching, so I didn't. I knew they were good, but I didn't. I didn't know
I
I was
saw them in
watching System of a
Toxicity.
Down.
It already was out.
You saw that?
So
Oh.
I saw them like when they were like it was still on like Toxicity like stuff. It was before they or did they already really steal this album? No, it might have been just Toxicity stuff. But man, they were good. And it was like saw them was actually at Ozfest, and we're on the lawn, Matawan, New Jersey, at the PNC Bank Arts Center, and the lawn there is like on a steep angle, and it was like pouring for hours at that point. So it was just a muddy, sloppy,
Just mess.
like mess, and it was just wild. And War was just ridiculous.
Matt's like, I don't want to be
Scariest.
here.
No, it was actually a little bit terrifying, but at the same time, it's like when you came out alive on the other side, you're like, that was awesome. So,
I don't know if I'm going to survive, but I got an awesome story to say.
it was worth it.
Totally. All right.
What about you, Grizz?
Anybody up on your list?
Axl Rose from GNR.
Yep. You might
Yeah.
not like him anymore. You might not like him, but as a
Yeah.
front man,
Yeah, like as a person, I probably don't like Axl Rose very much, but I mean, Appetite for Destruction. It's like
Yeah.
beginning to end.
Yeah. And then the whole Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 for the Terminator movie era.
Totally,
that's when they were huge at that point.
they were monsters at that point.
it's
yeah.
almost too big.
Yeah, like
November Rain. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
How can
he's
we
good. He's
forget?
fun on stage. He's got his little, he's got his own antics.
He
And
does
his
the
little,
snake, man.
Yeah,
He does the snake with the
Yeah.
kicking. I used to do that a lot when I was a kid. I remember I used to see like Guns N' Roses music videos, and I saw it. I thought shit was hilarious, and I'd do it all the time in my room, just doing the snake while watching freaking MTV.
We
It's
need to get a
hilarious.
video of that.
I know, right? I'd like
Good.
to see that.
I was good.
That'd be awesome.
Absolutely. What about you, sir?
I'm going to pull back. You actually mentioned earlier regarding Prophets of Rage, Chuck D as the front man with Public Enemy is awesome. His voice, just his presence on stage, really, really amazing. So I'm going to go with that. I don't know if you guys are familiar with.
Who's Public Enemy?
It was my
I'm just kidding. I got you.
So yeah, I really think, Chuck D's just his presence on stage is pretty awesome. Pulls you in. I mean, I wouldn't say he's top by any stretch, but I think he definitely deserves a nod.
Right.
Yeah, so
What about Top? If we're
Top?
trying to start going up there.
well, I think why do I keep doing that? Grizz. I think Grizz and I are probably both going to agree on this, that James Hetfield of Metallica is definitely high end and just owns it. I've seen them 3 times. Every time he's just completely owned the stage. I like the voice. I like his presence. I like how he interacts with the crowd in between songs. Everything about it's pretty amazing. So,
No argument
No
whatsoever.
argument whatsoever, huh?
who's on the top of your list?
Bruce Dickinson.
Oh,
Iron Maiden.
2 weeks.
Yeah, that's right. That's coming up really soon, isn't it?
2 weeks and 2 days.
I love that all these years later, he still has that kind of power.
Yeah.
And he still has that voice
Yep.
because he took care of his voice, And him as just a person, it's like, you can't imagine somebody else. I remember the first time I saw, like, a picture of him older. I was like, who's this guy that's now singing for Iron Maiden? Because his hair is all short. And I mean, like, because doesn't he have a PhD? And he's also a licensed pilot. Like, he flies there. He flies there
He's a pilot. He flies his own tour.
Yeah. He flies their 747.
We're actually
You know?
gonna, when we're down for the show, we're gonna try and catch the airport and see if we can see the plane.
Hell yeah, man.
I saw something a few years ago where they landed somewhere, and the president of France, his plane they had to wait while Bruce Dickinson taxied in the
awesome.
Iron Maiden Book of Souls plane, and there's a picture of it, like, you know, like of them on tarmac. So to see, like, you know, clearly, like, what's, you know, a government plane.
Yeah.
You see this giant Iron Maiden Book of Souls tour. And you're like, yeah.
That's awesome.
It's amazing. But guys got power, unforgettable music.
Speaking of that, I mean, some vocalists they may not have the presence, but the chops. I mean, they separate themselves. You know.
Yeah, no,
rest in peace, Chris
you're right.
Cornell. But you know, that's kind of why we were talking about that, because it also not just stage presence, but can you bring it?
Yes. Yeah, and that's very true. A kind of a funny story. You know, Susie the groomer, the woman I talked about.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, she saw Iron Maiden. Thank you, Susie, for this story. She's told me the story a few times, so I'm going to share it with everybody. She saw Iron Maiden in Daytona Beach, and they were at the show, and Iron Maiden was singing, and there was some asshole near the nosebleeds lighting fireworks and throwing them. This is way back in the day, too, so
Right.
can't do that nowadays, but just, you know, lighting fireworks. And Bruce stopped the music, and he's like, hey, whatever asshole is up there shooting off fireworks, stop it. We're trying to have a good time here, and you're ruining it for everybody. Like, stop the show and called the dude out for blowing up fireworks.
Nice.
Yeah, it's some cool shit, you know? So, yeah, it's a good story. Thank you, Susie. Giving you a shout-out 2 weeks in a row. Yeah.
There you go.
2 weeks in a row.
You're welcome.
Right.
So tell your dogs Reese and oh shit Ty that I said hello.
Oh,
So, do you have any from in Derek just with voice?
Just for voice alone. That's kind of hard. I was just kind of really leaning on like an antics type of thing. Voice, Maynard of Tool. I like his voice. His voice is an instrument with that music. As a leader, like frontman, usually he's got a little setup like behind the guitars and stuff. He doesn't like to be seen. But as far as as far as voice goes, his voice is so unique and fits their sound. I couldn't imagine anything else. So
right.
yeah, so I think that works.
I feel
I've never seen Maynard with Pussifer or A Perfect Circle. So I don't know how he is.
I actually prefer Maynard with Perfect Circle. I like just stuff that he's done there a little bit.
I didn't like the cover album. 13th Step, I think, is a gorgeous, gorgeous album.
Yeah. And I like the first one too, Murder Noms.
Yes, that's a good
I'm a
one.
big fan of that
Yep.
one. That was the one. I mean, when that came out, everybody was like,
Judith is what put him on the map.
Judith. Yeah. My favorite song is like his Power on like The Hollow, which is like, that's the opening track on that album too. I think. But
Side note here with Perfect Circle, the guy who made the music for it is Billy Howardell.
yes,
Okay, he's got another band that released one album. The band is called Ashes Divide. And it's Billy singing. So everybody just go out and listen to it and let us know what you think. I'm curious because I don't know anybody that listens to Ashes Divide. It's a unique sound. It's different. I love it. I think it's really quite beautiful also in a rock way. But Ashes Divide, I forget the name. Everything is going to be all right, I think is the name of the album. But it's only one album by them. So give it a listen. I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, please.
right. You know, I'll have to break one of my rules just if we're going to go on voice.
ZZ Top.
No.
Okay.
No. David Gilmour from Pink Floyd.
Yeah?
Yeah, I love his voice and also what he brings to the band. Because if you listen to even if you listen to like his solo stuff, so much of the Pink Floyd sound is his guitar work. It's like him and Richard Wright specifically, like, you know, like the way they like work together. And what I like also about that is how like another really good vocalist who's going to actually is on the list, and I'll just use him as a comparison. Right now is Wayne Staley from Alice in Chains. How him and Jerry Cantrell, they harmonize off of each other very well. At times, like if you don't know like their tonal quality, if it's the first time you're listening to them, you don't realize that it's happening.
Okay.
Because they're like in the same register. It's kind of why I like David Gilmour, because he does that with Richard Wright on piano like a lot, and some people don't even realize that it's happening, but their voices really complement each other very nicely. And so much of that sound of it, that's one of the biggest bands. I mean, Dark Side of the Moon is like, still
So
the
incredible.
number one selling album of all time. So much of that album is because of him, like that sound. So
Right on.
yeah, I'd go with him.
That's interesting. I wouldn't have even put that together like that.
I try.
Okay.
I try.
And you succeed, my friend.
I'll drink to that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers, sir.
Clinkety.
Clinkety, clinkety.
We'll just cheers off the mic stand.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so good.
What about you for voice, Grizz?
ZZ Top.
What was that sound? I've never heard you make that sound before.
It's breathing inward. The air escapes me with my jokes. I have to breathe my air back in.
What jackass. That's great. Air escapes me.
That's great.
That sounds like a band name.
It does, doesn't it? The Airs. Who's your favorite band? The Air escapes me.
You should do
It
that.
totally works.
You should totally do that to hipsters at like a concert, like, to be like, have you ever heard of them before?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of them before. Yeah, totally.
I like the
You
Air
know.
escapes me.
It's like one of my favorite Hard Times articles. Like a
got
guy
that-
at show hasn't heard the band but has heard of them. Yeah, I heard of them before, man. Yeah, huh? Gotcha. Yeah.
That's great. So yeah,
I like Scott Weiland from STP. Another rest in peace.
He's got a really good voice. I never got into STP, but I have to like respect his talent.
yeah.
Their first two albums, Core and Purple, like those albums are way up there for me. Just for the simple fact that you can put them in, and you don't have to skip a song.
Purple's the one with Vaseline on it, right?
Yeah, it opens up with Vaseline.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. What do you guys think about Perry Farrell, Jane's Addiction?
I think I know like one Jane's Addiction song.
Really?
Yeah.
You should listen to the album Ritual de lo Habitual. It's the one with Stop on it, but the whole album's a good album. It's unique.
Okay.
It's unique. That's why I tend to like bands that have a unique, different sound to it.
Right.
I really don't like your basic bands.
Basic bands, basic bitches.
That too.
You don't like bands that wear a pair of Uggs. They're like the Uggs of bands, the North Face fleece jacket of bands.
I know.
Well,
and in the summer, they probably wear Crocs.
They love pumpkin spice lattes. Do you know if you take a pumpkin spice latte and vodka and you pour it into an Ugg, that it grows a basic bitch?
Yeah, that's an actual drink. It's called Nickelback.
Oh, damn. Oh, wow. The air escapes him.
And the diet version is Creed.
Must have air. Oh, gosh.
This is quite delicious.
It is delicious, isn't it?
It is.
It's quite tasty.
This is quite a tasty beverage.
I have a couple of guys. I don't even know if they would be like high on the list, but
Honorable mentions.
and again, damn it!
Hashtag
Out with
words.
Hashtag words. Anthony Kiedis from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Okay. Okay. Derek just sat back in his scooter.
It meets
Scratching his-
it meets the criteria, and
I guess
California.
he was
Some of the
kinda-
California songs were decent.
Did you know that
All of
the
them
next
are California songs.
they're all the next Red Hot Chili
California
Peppers
songs.
album is literally just going to be
Heroin in California.
them reading the California Wikipedia.
That's funny, man.
And again, you
Sorry.
don't have to like him.
all right.
For a front man, dude puts on a hell of a show.
All right, I'm
He
gonna,
does. He's. You wouldn't be able to imagine Red Hot Chili Peppers with a different vocalist.
No,
They'd be
no,
311.
They make great. Oh,
311 may be better than that, though.
okay.
Okay,
Actually,
Better
I'm,
than-
maybe.
better
Yeah,
than
no, I'm
what
gonna
that
give it that.
would've
No, I'm
been.
gonna give it
Come
that.
on.
No,
I'm
yeah.
going. You guys are going to be shocked here. You guys are going to be shocked, but because we're talking about frontmen and those who deserve nods, I'm going to have to go with Steven Tyler.
Oh my God! I knew you were going to say that because that was my other one. that I
He's a
was
great
gonna say.
frontman. I hate.
He hates Aerosmith, like with passion.
hate him.
Yeah.
But
Although
you don't want to miss a thing.
I
Sorry.
will murder you.
Derek's got a gun.
Barrel, go barrel. I guess I'm just gonna have to be living it up while I'm going down.
Keep drinking out of your.
So many that's going together. He can't take the
He can't
stairs,
take
so he's
it.
got to take love in an elevator.
There we go.
Thank you for pointing that out, Grizz. I appreciate that.
Grizz, that's not just light beer, man. What's in there, dude?
There he goes.
What's in there, man?
know.
You're holding out on it,
You're
man.
going to kill me, man.
Nah, man. It's the moon, man. It's for looking. Does your brother listen to this?
Is Ramirez aware of the fact that we use his voice all the time on our podcast?
That's actually, well, his voice, that thing that he does is actually Tommy Chong.
oh, okay.
That's where he gets it from. Just watching old Cheech and Chong movies when he was a kid. So he's been doing it since then, and everybody
Okay.
copies him, and they don't realize that they're copying Tommy Chong.
All right. Yeah, because I'm copying. When I do that, it's Ramirez.
You're copying Ramirez. Yeah.
Thank you, Ramirez. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man.
Does he listen to the podcast still?
He does. He does.
What's up, Ramirez?
What's
Shout
up,
out.
Ramirez? Yeah.
The Meme King.
We're in your ears.
Yeah, dude. You got to put on our page, go to Walking My Wheels, Ramirez, and let us know who you think is the greatest frontman of all time. Yeah, man.
Totally.
Yeah, I want to hear that from you.
I'm gonna throw out there a. by
what
the
about
way,
Robert Plant?
That's literally what I was about to say. Robert Plant.
Drinking gives me ESP.
I thought he was on the
I
Mount
thought it was the
Rushmore.
EFPN.
I thought Robert Plant was on the Mount Rushmore of frontman.
He kind of is.
We should do. Let's do that. Let's do a frontman Mount Rushmore. Right, blah blah. Words. Hashtag words.
Welcome to Walking in My
Walking.
Wheels.
No, it's walking my wheels.
It's Christopher Walken in My Wheels.
Oh, come on. We do this every week, guys.
Every week. No, he's
We would
um,
leave you alone about it if you could actually pronunciate this.
There was it was interesting about Robert Plant is they were trying to Jimmy Page never even heard of him. You know, I mean, he was like nobody. You know, at the time when because Jimmy Page was in
Well,
the
bands usually
Yardbirds.
start that way, right?
Well, not Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin was actually formed out of the ashes of the Yardbirds, which was a touring band. They were a big band. They had like hit songs like "Heart Full of Soul" and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm aware. You have the
yeah. So when they ended, basically they had to fulfill a contract. He basically they started out as the new Yardbirds.
Okay.
So he was looking for to round out the band, and he basically invited Plant over when he heard about him. He invited over, he met him, then he invited him over to his apartment. They sat around listening to, just going through Jimmy Page's music collection and just putting songs on that they liked and things that they wanted to do together, things like that. It's part of the reason why Led Zeppelin 1 is full of so many covers, but
Yeah.
he knew that he really had him, like that he knew that, and it was like they were already touring as Led Zeppelin. At that point, they came up with the name, and they already had they were out there doing stuff. They were playing a hall, and the PA broke, and there was no PA, and
Was there no
you
PA?
you could hear him from the
Nah.
back of the
Okay.
hall. You could still hear him from the back of the hall
Just
because he
his
was
voice.
that powerful.
Yeah.
With the drummer and a bassist and guitarist, going full bore. He was that much power. I mean,
That's
incredible
badass.
range.
Yeah.
Can you imagine Zeppelin without
No,
Robert Plant?
it's not Zeppelin.
No. And he was this weird, like,
Be Aerosmith.
very androgynous. Oh, shit.
Thank you. I appreciate that joke.
That is a good
More than
joke.
you could ever imagine.
Do you know what you call Aerosmith with Eddie Vedder? Pearl Jam.
No.
Yes, I'm sorry.
No. The jokes just stopped.
Just saying.
It's not funny anymore,
It's
guys.
not funny anymore. You're hurting my feelings. Don't make fun of my favorite classic rock band. But no. But
Mick-
yeah, Robert Plant is...
What about Mick Jagger?
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a showman on stage, too.
For me, the real front man knows Keith Richards. He's the most compelling on stage because you don't know how he's still running.
No.
You know, you're like, there's a great interview. I remember it was like they were preparing to go out on one of their last tours, and they were talking to Mick Jagger, and he was talking about he was like running for an hour, and like, you know, while he ran, he would sing the whole entire set while he was running, so he'd get his lungs and everything up.
Oh, that's good
You know?
conditioning.
Really good conditioning. You know, that's pretty epic. And you know, he's
Yeah.
an older man at the point. You know, and, you know, they asked
Back
Keith
when they
Richards.
only did 1 hour sets.
Right. Well, no, like, well, that's how you know how you like get prepared. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
then when you're on stage, it should be easy. But you know, then they're like, go to Keith Richards, and they're like, "Well, how are you preparing? You know, for the tour?" It's like preparing. I'm Keith Richards from the Rolling Stones. Like, I'm kind of like that old Honda that you have that you've never changed oil, but it's still running, so you don't ask any questions.
That's so true.
That's me. He actually said this.
There's somebody comedian out there that said when Keith Richards dies, people are going to put him into ashes and smoke him.
Dude, every
There's
time
so
a
many
musician dies, Keith Richards gets stronger.
Yeah,
It's like
he absorbs.
it's like the
he's
freaking
like
Highlander.
the Highlander of music.
Exactly. It's like you ever see Wade's World where guy's sleeping upside down and he's like, learned that from Keith Richards once. That's why some say he can't be killed by conventional weapons. He can't.
It's hilarious.
Dude, when he dies, I'm pretty sure like reality is going to flip, and you know we're going to be in a different version of the multiverse. So
Yeah, that's going to be a weird day. How is he still alive?
because he's going to live forever, because he's like the Highlander.
We're at that point where those you got those band members from the 50s and 60s, 70s that are starting to really get old. You know, Paul McCartney's the last one left. Is George Harrison
Yeah.
still alive?
Is it really Paul McCartney, though?
Is it really him?
He's had some good work done. He looks like he's 15.
No, have you heard that conspiracy?
Was
What?
this like the Avril Lavigne conspiracy where, like, you know, he's dead and somebody else taking place so they can keep the money train rolling?
Yep.
Gotcha.
No. I don't
Really?
believe that.
I've never heard this one.
No.
Yeah.
Do you have an actual story? Or is this like a 3-sentence thing and then we're done?
I suggest you seek out this.
He's just going to say GTS and
Documentary.
get back to
Yeah,
me.
GTS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How about you GTS it?
You can't
And
drop.
use guys watch it.
You can't drop that knowledge and not have a backing on it.
Dude, my wife watched it, and she was like freaking out about it because she's a big about conspiracies anyway. She's like,
No.
it's geeking, man. She was just one of those moments, like watching it. She was like, hold up,
Yeah.
I think this is legit.
Wow.
All the compelling evidence, like Paul McCartney supposedly died in a car wreck, and they found somebody who looked just like him.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm not going with it, but yeah, that sounds neat.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you don't
Oh,
have
man.
to go with it. I'm just saying there's a conspiracy out there.
Aliens.
Yeah, you're having one of those
Aliens.
aliens, crazy-haired aliens, you know, moments.
I know. Ancient aliens. Whatever that. What's that guy's name?
Who knows?
Stephanopoulos?
He's not even a doctor. Like
He's just a dude.
Whatever his title is, it's
No,
not even.
no.
not
What
even
he is he's a professor at a school and just bangs chicks all day long because he has that hair. That's it.
And when they say, "Why did you have sex with one of your students?" and he's like, "Aliens."
Aliens. That's it.
Oh,
Him and Keith
brother.
Richards are friends.
Totally.
Well, they came from the same planet, so because they're aliens.
All right, let's wrap this up real quick, guys. Let's do a quick Mount Rushmore. So let's pick four that need to be on the mountain of Rushmore.
I know
each.
it's going to
Let's
sound
call
just
it,
because
let's call
of
it
the,
Mount Rockmore.
Okay. Well, I'm just going to throw it out there because I've been saving him for last, and it's not just because of what happened, but Chris Cornell. For me, Chris Cornell was one of those vocalists that you just won't come across anytime soon. There's only like a few that, like, from any generation, they could be like, well, holy shit. Especially now, since everybody's like recording stuff on their laptops and they
auto-tuned
talk really quietly and they get auto-tuned and, it's music. Like, you're not going to have somebody who's as transparent, like, with their, like, own personal, like, feelings and stuff. Because, some of the stuff that Soundgarden, like, put out, like, was dark, There's a lot of, like, inner demons that were just being put on display. Also to work with, like, Temple of the Dog, as well. Everything that he was experiencing with, like, losing, like, his best friend and, like, roommate, Andy Wood, Brother Lovebone. And,
that's good stuff. That's good stuff right there. They were,
yeah.
I had a thought and it just fleeted away. Sorry, guys.
Right. No, but he's just one of those, he was like a monster vocally, but also so human and, like, down to earth.
That's like how I am in bed.
It's down to earth because gravity is tough with you because of the loss of muscle mass or
Gravity
something.
sucks. Worst movie ever, too.
Gotcha. Yeah, but I'm going to put Chris Cornell up there.
For the record, love that movie. Yeah, Chris Cornell, definitely on it. James Hetfield, Going on the Mountain Rock.
Yeah.
I'd have to put Plant on there just because it's Plant.
Okay. What's the last one? We got to think about this last one now. So we got
Ronnie James Dio. I'm just kidding.
No. No. Actually, Dio is an honorable mention.
Yes, definitely an honorable mention.
Because when Justin Bieber cancels a concert because he had a stomach ache, Rodney James Dio closed out one of the largest metal shows
with cancer.
With stomach cancer, terminal stomach cancer.
Yeah.
So
shut up.
Screw you, millennials.
another shout out, which I don't care what you say. Y'all probably maybe even think this is worse than me liking ZZ Top, but Paul Stanley from Kiss.
No, not at all. Actually,
I would say
I can
Gene
get like
Simmons
along
for
like
Kiss. I'd say Gene Simmons as a front man for Kiss, but not Paul Stanley.
Really?
I think Paul Stanley was better.
Totally.
Just because he has the
stuff
chops
like Love
too.
Gun and like there's so much good stuff
man.
there.
I Was Made for Loving You.
There you go.
That was back in the disco days.
Yeah, you like the more disco stuff. I like the,
I was made for loving you, baby. You were made for loving me.
Still, honorable mention. Great voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with it.
All right.
I'm not a huge Kiss fan, but there's some stuff.
It's like the Girl Scout cookies. Y'all win.
Right. There we go.
Yeah.
I'm not even acknowledging the Girl Scout cookie episode.
He was so upset with the Girl
Fuck that
Scouts.
shit.
Yeah, so Chris Cornell. So we got Chris Cornell, we've got Robert Plant, we've got James Hetfield.
Zach. No.
Can't do that.
This is much more difficult than I expected it to be.
Yeah, there's got to be a fourth.
There has to be a fourth.
Well, I'm just going to keep throwing out honorable mentions then.
All right, keep doing that.
Trent Reznor.
No.
Trent Reznor's got a decent voice.
He does, but I don't think he should be on the wall.
I'm not saying. I'm just saying honorable mention in general because
honorable mention Debbie Harry.
We didn't even get to them.
Yeah.
Debbie Harry from Blondie.
Yeah, let's find out. Is there a woman we could put up on that wall? I mean, because, all the ladies on that listen to our podcast might be feminist.
There's probably a lot.
Might be upset.
It might be feminist. I'm trying to think of who we can really put up there that's...
I wouldn't say Debbie Harry.
I wouldn't say Debbie Harry to put on there.
Think about female leads. Hart. Stevie, old school Stevie Nicks.
Stevie Nicks, yeah. I would
old
put
school
Stevie
though,
Nicks
but
up
she's
there.
beat down now, bro.
Well, they all are.
Yeah,
Yeah, but she's not even...
Like even Grace Slick, from Jefferson Airplane, Starship, as you like your
Starship.
preferred version
Yeah.
of them.
We built this city.
And again, who's the one singing it? All I
rock and roll.
built this city. Thank you.
You're welcome. No, almost like that. That song itself, I think, should immediately.
I put Stevie Nicks up there.
Yeah.
I would. Stevie Nicks has a great voice, and even now, like that, her voice isn't what it is.
It's
like
nothing like it was. She
It
was
isn't, but-
on American Idol singing with somebody, and she was so out of tune, and it was bad.
But like
man.
the song that
So
she did with
disappointing.
Dave Grohl and them for Sound City.
No,
Great fucking song.
not Sound City. That's the. Yeah, it is Sound City.
It is Sound City.
Yep.
Yeah, that was a great fucking song. She still got it. I'm putting her up there. Fuck you.
Well, on that note,
Okay.
all right.
There you go.
All right,
She's on
so
there.
Just to let everybody know, next week's podcast, which we're about to record in about 15 or 20 minutes, is going to be much more enhanced because the buzzes are starting to kick in. I think. I know mine is. So
I'm
we're
just sitting here with an empty mug held up to my face. So yeah.
So we're gonna make another one. Yeah. So,
Totally.
anyways, thank you for listening, everybody, and we really appreciate it. And any comments or bands that we might have forgotten, singers that
There
we
are
might have forgotten.
so many out
There's-
there
yeah,
too. Like I
so-
want to hear some of your honorable mentions and like things that people who you would put on your Rushmore frontmen and women.
And be ready for
as
us
well.
to laugh and scoff at you if we think they're not good. But
Well,
no,
Derek will do that because that's
Yeah.
just he's an asshole.
So, hey, I gave
But
props to freaking Steven Tyler. This was a big step for me today.
it
Good
is.
job, buddy.
Yeah.
I was worried about that.
Yeah. No, I mean,
Was.
a front man, he deserves it. He
How about
deserves
Marilyn Manson?
I didn't
That
choose
just-
him just simply because
The gimmick.
it. Yeah.
No, actually, I think that
Yeah, but Paul Stanley.
that's a whole entire another rabbit hole I can go on there. But
So,
yeah.
just getting the look. All right, everybody. Appreciate you listening. As always, remember, even a speed bump can be a jump.
Go listen to great music.
Yeah, jump.
Thank you for supporting Walking in My Wheels. You can listen to us on iTunes, Google Play, and YouTube. Also follow us on Facebook and Instagram. If you have something to say, email us at walkinginmywheels@gmail.com. Keep being awesome people and #BeLove.